Waters gets the Magpies going again. Puttenham twists clear of the defence and passes to Gabelick, who's unmarked, as he streaks away into an open goal. Gabbo's goal takes the Magpies to a 2-point lead. It's desperate football as Dixon marks. His kick comes off the pack to Crompton right up from the back pocket. If Crompton goals, the Demons are back in the lead. And it's through the middle.
And a tremendous atmosphere here at the MCG. Roy West kicking in towards the centre. Roy
Throw in. And McKenzie over the top of Jones. It should have been a free kick there. The kick going high up here towards Williams. Williams and gone. Captured back nicely. Jezelenko on the flank, on the opposite flank. Kicks in towards centre half forward and Russell Blue drops it. Has a chance for Quirk. He steps the goal. Oh, no. Smothered up in suit. Has a chance. For Quirk again. He puts it high towards goal.
Kicks a high one to the edge of the goal square once again. The ball is knocked to the ground. Taken by Jackson. He's in terrible trouble. He's held. Play on. Jackson's still going.
Get a break.
He's being pushed. He still goes. He's grabbed. He's taken to the ground. Play on still. Oh, umpire Jeff Crouch giving the men every opportunity. Hart takes it. Hart deep down and Billy Brown will mark. Brown plays on straight away. Here's the goal. Look at this.
Oh! Did he show some courage? Oh, the only thing they could have done was hit him. I know it looks bad, but he's given a 15-yard penalty here. Barrett getting missed about. The bottle.
Moore's put it through. Carlton players looking pretty weary as Richmond come home like trains. There's a kick down forward. Silvani still trying. Hart went up there. Bartlett.
In comes Leon Royce, handballs across there to David Parkin, and Parkin does a drop kick straight towards Don Scott. It whips it over towards Kenny. Kenny's going towards the goal. Will it make it? Yes, it's the goal! Look at John Kennedy there. You can see the joy on Kennedy's face. Hawthorn go to a 2-goal, 1 lead.
Taken by Matthews. Matthews a hand pass to Hudson. Hudson going for a run. He steadies. He kicks. Oh my God, he's missed it. Oh, look at him. He's put it out of bounds on the full. Deep into the forward zone. Big Nichols is there. Up he goes. Oh!
Where was Southby and Barnes pushed away by Wade and Southby. And Southby goes high. There's one too high. Is up in front, gets it down. It's taken by Barnes. His kick smothered. Coming up.
Stansford, he backs up pretty well. He's playing the ball very well in front of him now. Won't give in. And good play by Chisholm. And he's down. It'll be a free kick up the field. It's up it goes now. Ball having a go. There's Lethal Lee going for a shot at goals. He doesn't miss. Beautiful goal.
out towards half-back. Memphis side it goes. Gordon, the big leap. Oh, second grab couldn't quite take it. Rene King can't first clear. Flight's there. Also Maggrave for Collingwood. Gordon trying to get it out, which he does towards Manasseh. Manasseh the drive. Collingwood even to take goes for a run. Almost towards the half-forward line. He is now. He's gone 50 metres. Takes the handball. No, feigns the handball. He won't give in Manasseh. He's going to shoot for goal. And he's put it through. He put it through. By golly. What an individual effort. That's going to be the goal of the century.
Scott winning that tap out, looking for Matthews, who picks it up on the run. Matthews fires the ball deep into attack for Hawthorn. Knight breaks away. He's going to have a shot for goal. I think Peter Knight, and that should knock it up.
Up towards Peter Knight's at the back. He drops it. Kelly put a mark and a half.
Towards the centre wing position. Johnston was behind the pack. It's socked away by Keogh. Down towards the half-forward line. Harms tries to pick it up. Buckley gets it out to Harms now. He's pursued by Brewer, but he can't catch him. Harms fires at the goals, but he's off target. It's rolling towards the boundary line, and Harms almost makes ground. He taps it back to Sheldon. It's a goal! Oh, what a goal! If you don't mind, Harms is almost as quick as the kick.
They're giving him all a run now. It was to Bartlett. Bartlett and Magro having a battle there, but it's Bartlett getting around Magro. Look at the little jam go. Comes What's the result? He's into the record. Hurried and he's kicked away that time by Waite. Oh, Jess is upended the Hunter. Oh, golly, hit him a beauty that time. And the Tigers are concentrating on using the shoulder rather than going after the ball. Centre half forward. There's Bazastar, what a mark. He quickly plays on, and he goes for a hand pass to Hunter. It could be a goal coming up. Yes, it's a goal. So it's a goal of the Blues. Going into Merritt's back that time as well, but well tackled that time, and it'll be play on. It'll be a free kick now. The umpire calling play on as Russell Morris drives it out there towards the wing position, the back fly. There'll be plenty of mistakes in this first quarter, and they're having a go again. We tip this, it will be on for Young and all before it's over.
Michael and McCarthy.
Well, they're going in now, and Hawthorn not taking any funny business today. Look at them going in, piling in there. Players falling over left and right. You pick it up, and you'll find the fighters there.
Matthews and Watson.
Look at them piling up. This is the best I've ever seen in a grand final ball. I can't recall.
Like this,
Look good. Oh, golly, Peter. Talk about stacks on the mill. You've never seen it like this. How they'll unravel them, I don't know, Peter.
Well, there could be every player on the ground is involved, and you could book the whole two sides, Bob, couldn't you? You really could book the whole two sides.
Yes, you certainly could, and if they're going to start reporting, they'll be writing for quite a while, so it could be a long quarter.
And they need a couple more new books, wouldn't they?
Matthews, will it be his last goal? It won't be a goal, it won't be a score. Bowles dispossessed. Brereton, he could get his name in the record books if that's a goal. It is.
Good on him. He's broken the record. 8 goals.
The Magpies lead by 3 points. Madden charges at it. Chris Danaher under pressure. McGuan at the back. It's a hurried kick wide. Anderson could be first to it. On his hammer is Mullane. Anderson's left foot kick is wide. Over the head of Van der Haar. Makes good ground. Runs out of room. There's the siren to end the first term in the 1990 Grand Final. Collingwood 2-5. 17. Lead Essendon 2-2. Quarter. And we have the brawl of the siren up there. Always causing plenty of attention is Kelly.
And we thought this had happened very early on, and now they're not mucking around these guys. And usually this does happen early on in the grand final, not at the quarter-time break.
Kick it forward. Well,
And there's a fella, you can see there, a Collingwood player down. It looks like it's Christian.
probably 3 or 4 pockets that have now almost dissolved into one. Players are being thrown everywhere. Oh, look at this.
That could be one of our men, Bernie Quinlan, standing right near that. Maybe we can get some comment from Bernie, who's standing right beside the incident. It's on the 50-metre line, back further. That's the Collingwood player who's been knocked out. Sensation here at quarter time. Well, it's all or nothing, isn't it, Sandy? The winners get the lot, the losers go away empty-handed, and that is really, well, that's a sign of what they're playing for, isn't it?
Not just the players, but also officials involved.
Who is that that's down? It's hard to pick up because of the shadows. Is it Gavin Brown? Let's hope it's not.
Looks
It is
as though it is Gavin Brown.
Oh, well, that is unfortunate
It
because
is.
he is a key to this side.
Down goes Irving. Platten emerges with it towards half forward. The Hawks needing a goal here. Brereton, good effort, body to body, and winning against McIntosh. Lays it off. Platten 60 metres out, intended for Dunstall. Chance behind for Deere. Open goal. It sits for him and he kicks it. Assessing the options. Goes for distance towards the pocket. Brereton. Great grab. Dunstall has the drop. He goes back in front. Brennan's fallen over. Dunstall deep in the pocket. Measures the options. Pulls it back. It's a goal. Oh, what a classic.
Across to Heady. A delicate little chip to the run of Matera. Suddenly the Eagles are alight. Matera sets sail for home. But the Eagles hit the front. Fletcher to bring it back into play. Goes straight down the middle. Lovely kick, almost to the centre of the ground. Williams waits at the back, but it's to his opposite number, Denham. In the middle. Now Michael Long. Look at this boy go. Away goes Michael Long. 50 metres out. Still going. 30 metres out. Oh, what play! It may have been touched on the line. No! One of the plays of the year.
And Mick Malthouse with a remarkable record as coach there. Here's Evans to Kemp. At about 70 metres of the bounce. At 50 now. Oh, chips to Lewis, not quite. Goal anyway! It's all happening.
Centre wing, Madden and Barnes. Madden tried to get it down to Ratton. Ratton in underneath. Can't get the ball clear. Couches kick. Smothered by Dean again. Clappe, short one. Dean's on it. Can he kick a goal? Peter Dean. He's dumped after he kicked the football. It may go through. It's marked by Williams. He's going to get the goal anyway. Greg Williams has got it for the Blues.
Rocks kick it half back to centre wing. Crocker, Carey coming in from the side. Well played though. Bays to Dyson, to Creswell. It's happening for Sydney at the moment. Mooney, a good contest with Fairley. Lewis with a chance. Well played. Lockett in the box seat as he can't work to the front. Martin with him. Played Lockett. Played Tony. Left foot goal. Sensational. Back in the centre. Stafford. Stevens out of the centre. 10-13, 9-5. Blakey to Rock. North dangerous again. Attacking at Roberts. Bell has done well. At 50. Centering kick. To the front of the goals. Is it going through for goal? Is it touched? I don't think so. It's a goal. Rock has been so good all day. McKernan, so strong and powerful. Kicks it forward to Scholl. Inventive there, Scholl. Goes for goal. Inside the 10. Could carry it. No, it's barely coming down. And could he just top this off with the last goal of the Centenary Grand Final? He celebrates as well. There's icing on every cake today.
Yes, the Port Melbourne fisherman there, Ian Fairley, finishing off our highlights. Just to whet your appetite, that is the little entree for our night of football with you. This is the Footy Marathon. And welcome back to our Footy Marathon. We've had hundreds of players, coaches and officials ringing us during the week trying to get on the program. We've had to cull them down, and we've now limited to probably 4 or 5 of the absolute best, the cream of the cream. And joining me now is a man who will always remember 1970 for more reasons than one. Teddy Hopkins, who played games, and actually in normal hours it's probably 29, isn't it, Ted?
That's correct, spread over 4 years at
But
Carlton.
at this time of night it can be what, 230 odd?
Yeah, that's all right, counting junior football.
Exactly right. And a man who did play 269 games and is still going is Richard Osborne. Ozzy, great to have you on the program as well.
Thanks, Sandy. Nice to be here.
Boys, firstly, before we rewind the clock, I think we've got to ask both of you about this year's grand final. Were you surprised, Ted, firstly, that it was Adelaide and St Kilda? I mean, if someone said to you at the start of the season, look, the Saints and the Crows are going to play off the grand final, would you suggest that they be certified?
Look, the sort of work that we're doing now with the Swinburne University analysis of football and, you know, that's going to the clubs, what it proves is that Adelaide have been the longest kicking team in the competition this year. That's kicks over 40 metres that go to a contest or better. Now, last year it was North Melbourne who were the longest kicking team in the competition. They're second this year. So you've got to say any team that kicks the ball often and long and well enough has got to be in with a show. So was not surprised at all to see the Bulldogs being beaten in the end by Adelaide. I think Adelaide very competitive.
Are you suggesting then, with North Melbourne as a backup, that Adelaide will win?
Look, that's one of the indicators that, you know, the coaches are looking at now is, you know, effective long kicking. So they're in with a chance. And the other thing too is, you know, working with Swinburne University, they're experts at ground advantage. And one of the interesting things is that Adelaide has performed extremely well on the MCG, as well as you'd expect over the years. You know, no real disadvantage to Adelaide. So again, they took on the Bulldogs with no ground disadvantage, and they'll take on the Saints without any ground disadvantage.
Well, Ozzy, were you in the side when you played both of them this year?
Yes.
What are your thoughts? Who was the better team?
Well, we
I suppose it depends when you played them.
Yeah, we beat the Bulldogs earlier in the season when I suppose Collingwood and the Bullies were playing pretty good football, and you know we
were probably down in the forward line then too, were you?
I was, yeah. I was down the opposite end of the ground, and then when we played Adelaide not too many weeks ago, we almost beat them, and ultimately that would have almost put us in the finals. So I don't know, on any given day or night, any team can beat anybody, so I don't think you can really read too much into the Bulldogs' form against us or Adelaide's form against us, because I think if you would have done that, I would have thought, no doubt, that the Western Bulldogs would not have been beaten by Adelaide last weekend.
Right, Oz, let's put you to the test. How much do you remember of the 1970 grand final?
1970 grand final.
Was he born?
I was 6 years of age. I'm showing my age there.
So there's no excuse for not having a complete record of
Kick
it.
to kick, I can commentate every bit of it. No, Sandy, I can't really remember too much about being 6 years of age. I do remember this nasty man here ended up ruining Collingwood's grand final day, because I was a Collingwood supporter as a child, so...
Ted, set it up.
Good on you, Ted.
Set it up for us. I mean, let's take it back. It's 1970. It's Friday night. What's the betting? Who thinks who's going to win? What's the feeling in the good old Melbourne town about this big clash?
Two crackerjack teams for the season. You know, I think if you looked at their form during the season, they were the two worthy contenders for the grand final. And, of course, they played in the second semi, and that's exactly how it went. You know, it was just a couple of goals Collingwood's way. And, of course, the return match, you'd normally say, well, Collingwood, you know, be the favourites, haven't won for a long time, arch rivals, all those sorts of things. So a lot of emotion. But, yes, look, Carlton were the becoming, you know, a really sort of tight, professional type of team under Barassi's leadership. And that was one of the advantages that we had going sort of on the rebound, having to, you know, go back through the preliminary final to win a spot. So... two crackerjack teams, ding-dong battle.
OK, there it is, all set up there by the great Ted Hopkins. Now let's have a look at highlights of the first 3 quarters of the 1970 grand final.
If the ball goes over the line, it has to be kicked in by the opposition.
There we go. Thompson in the middle of that pack. It comes down to Max Richardson. He gets a hurried hand pass out here towards Putnam in a bit of trouble. Oh! Was almost unloaded. He kicks. He's got it through. The first goal of the match from the boot of the former captain, Des Putnam.
There's the kick in. Players on. Broswell moved in nicely. Hand pass to Robertson. Robertson plays from the centre half-back position. Deep out onto the opposite wing. O'Callaghan racing for that ball. Wins clearly and kicks it back into the centre. Price on his own. Gives it to Putnam. Putnam plays through the middle. Up towards full forward and McKenna. And here we take the mark.
Collingwood are playing confidently. Peter McKenna. He is about 35, 40 yards out on the slide angle. It's on its way. It looks pretty good for me. It's right through the centre. Second goal of the match. About 30 yards out from the Collingwood goal. Thompson taps it down beautifully to Max Richardson. Richardson down forward. There they go again. Hall and McKenna. McKenna almost pulled it in, but he's battling on. A hand pass to Condrit. Fritz for Collingwood. Puts it through. Now, which is the scoring end?
I would say the scoreboard end, mate.
Right, well, Nichols won the toss and kicked to the other end. Carlton giving Collingwood the advantage in the first quarter, but let's see, McKenna has marked.
Beautiful left foot pass.
What a player.
Can't pass the ball at all, can he?
Oh, what a beautiful footballer Richardson is.
Coming up now, he's kicked this, he's put this right through the centre, no worries.
It was a split vote by the umpire.
In goes Big Jones, hits out nicely, but Adamson came through, tackled by Jackson.
Whoa!
And could have been a free kick, 2 free kicks there.
Gallagher comes up now, he's a left foot kick, kicking to the scoreboard and goal. Put it through. Now we're getting into business. There they go, Nichols in the ruck there with Jenkins. Silvani goes up, taps it down, but it's taken by Dean of Collingwood. Dean a long one down forward. There's McKenna. McKenna's mark.
Oh, great play. He filled ball then.
Peter McKenna. Up he comes, a school teacher. It's on its way, and he's taught them a lesson here, right through the centre. That's his third. Gallagher now in towards centre half forward. They move in for it. They fly high. No mark. Robert Walls is after it. Clifton there comes out with the ball. He's grabbed, and Clifton gets away for Collingwood. Clifton down towards centre half forward. Here's a race for the ball. Dunn traps it. Dunn gets around under his left boot. He shoots at the big one, and this a left footer through.
My word, they do. They're playing like that.
Long way to go, yeah.
What's Gale?
As the hit out. Waters took it. He's playing very well. Up here towards Barry Gill and Tuddenham. Tuddenham pushed Gill over. It's down to McKenna. McKenna struggles at the woods. Another left footer. Streaking through very nicely came Clifton. His kick goes in towards the centre of the ground.
They fly high. Gould went up a mile. Came down with the ball but didn't mark it, but managed to control it. Gould down forward now. Up they go. Robert Balls is marked. Carlton needing goals. On its way. It looks pretty good, but it's one there, one goal.
From the centre, Max Richardson. All looking for the pass to McKenna. It's too high. A chance for Wayne Richardson, and he's marked, and he's paid that. Coming up for the kick. A very important kick, this. Got under it slightly.
Oh, it's not a bad kick.
Beautiful goal.
Silvani a long hand pass, but it doesn't quite come off. As Crane couldn't get to it, it's taken by Clifton of Collingwood. Clifton into the centre, he finds Price. Price in a bit of trouble. A hand pass across here towards Dean, but the ball picked up by Max Richardson. Down towards the forward zone. McKenna! He's 30 yards out directly in front. It's on its way. There's his fifth. It was a trip,
yes. I didn't think he was going to play it, Mike. He was spot on.
Okay. To the wing position on the member stand side. Oh, Jesselenko! You guilty!
Good Lord.
Alex Jesselenko. Creeping in, bouncing the ball, not far out from the Carlton goal. It's taken by Silvani. He's pushed by Tuddenham.
Yes, had to be
in
played.
the back.
Had to be played, Mike.
We're well into time on here, Michael. Could be a handy score.
Silvani, 40 yards out, puts it on its way. It's his big ambition to kick a goal. He's done it! He's done it!
This fella's going to be one of the best
Look
players
at
in the
Tuddenham
league.
on his own.
Oh, criminal offence.
Not a bad player to leave alone, is he?
Oh, you kidding.
Wouldn't Barassi be tearing his hair out? Barassi, the coach at Carlton, leaving Des Tuddenham there. He's kicked one, Tuddenham. The fair way out, and he's on an angle, but he puts this on its way.
There's a real captain spell there. Goes for the kick. The centre of the ground, centre half forward. Jenkins, the Collingwood ruckman's in there. It's tapped to the ground. Gould picks it up number 11. One hand. Flashy football, but it's a big kick. Down to the half forward line, looking for Jesselenko. But it's Croswell that is marked. Croswell plays on, gives the ball to Walls. Walls has a long shot for goal. Jones is there. Down to Teddy Hopkins, the 19th man. He's got the goal. Put it through.
Third quarter that put them right into business too, if you remember, in the second semi. Back in the centre, the bounce of the ball. Waters trying to pick it up, couldn't do so. Gould's got him.
Holding the ball, Gould's free kick.
Oh, look at Carlton, they're playing on it every opportunity. Gould goes down, Jesselenko! Jesselenko's dropped it, but he butters up a left foot snap. It's going to go through, or close to it. No, a mark. Hopkins again. Hopkins again.
Gee, that was good play on that pitch, Bart. Ian Robertson gets the free kick and kicks up towards centre half forward. Jenkins in good position. Oh, but beautiful mark. The Walls right over the top of the pack.
Oh, Barassi's really stirred them up, hasn't he?
Well, it's their only hope, Michael. The last game of the year. This
Jesselenko couldn't get to it. Taken by Adamson. Adamson, a hand pass intercepted by Nichols. Nichols, a long hand pass towards Gallagher. But through they come. O'Callaghan is there. Jackson picks up for Carlton. Jackson, a left foot stop. Oh, he's got it through.
Number 7 in the centre of the ground. Goes for the punt kick, torpedo punt. Looking for Jesselenko. Clifton from behind. Punches the ball. Heatkins comes through. Misses the ball. And Croswell. Umpire Jolly said it was too high. And will take the free kick. 10 yards distance they must be. He comes in with the drop punt, lines it up. It looks pretty good in transit, and it's right through the middle. There's another one for Carlton.
Now towards the half-back plate on the member stand side. Dean comes out with the ball. Dean now a left foot snap. Oh, but it's a wild one, and Robert Walls again. Walls, a quick hand pass to Hopkins. Hopkins in a bit of trouble, but he shoots. He's put it through. That's his third.
terrific play. In towards Price in the centre. Big Jones comes through. Knocks the ball away. Price. Crane underneath. Didn't get the three. And the play are unloaded there. There's a kick in towards centre half forward. They're going to rub a ball's his mark. Great play by Carlton. He steps around Potter. Races into an open goal. A long shot.
There's another one.
Oh boy. Hopkins reckoned that went out on the full, but he couldn't call the umpire. In goes Jenkins, hits down. Hopkins has it. He tries to scramble the ball. Jesselenko shoots.
Oh, look, there's another one.
Right, Clifton now, he tries a short one out here towards Eakins, who's on his own, and here's a go. Eakins is running, plenty of room, gets his kick now down towards centre-half forward. Terry Waters is there. Oh!
Yes, he played the mark.
Is he playing it?
Yes. I
We'll
thought he
do
was
it later.
just blowing up. Waters from the half-forward line, looking for the long one into the square. Thompson goes in and marks. 4 points, that's
Look,
tremendous
look at
amount
that
of
right
pressure on him.
thigh. You can see his right thigh there.
Yes.
See those marks? That's that skin irritation that I've been talking about. Thompson kicks. Put it through.
Barry Gill, the half-back flanker for Carlton, kicks up now. Nichols is there, the big ruckman, but close goal! There comes Jones now. Jones cuts the ball to Jesselenko. Jesselenko to Gallagher. Gallagher fits the well on the ball. Coming through Jesselenko. Through a savage of players. And umpire Jolly will play the free kick to Jesselenko. Will favour the drop punt. He runs in. Oh, it looks pretty good.
Yes.
There's a sausage roll to Carlton. 4 points for this one.
That's termed as kicking in danger. Beautiful kick. Thompson leads out and marks. Oh, Waters has played a game today. McKenna led, was ignored, now gone back to the square. Thompson delaying this has allowed the Carlton defenders to get into the square. It's going to end right in the teeth of goal and done. Oh, played it. Either one or the other. A lot of pressure on him.
Home to the wide world. There they go. It's Potter, rather. Potter's down with a cramp. Wayne Richardson swings the ball around. Tries to get it in towards centre-half forward. Quickly done.
Lovely mark, that one.
A casual type of player, but a very effective player.
For the benefit of our interstate people, he's 6'5.5" and can play on a half-forward flank where they normally need speed. There it is, up to McKenna, and he's marked. Now this is the player that Collingwood need to fire.
But he's kicking to the difficult end. It's on its way. He's allowed for that freeze, and he's put it right through. That's McKenna's sixth.
Town on this game.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know you'll go to town on this game, Ted. Well, we're glad you will because you're an integral part of it. 17 points was the margin at three-quarter time in favour of Collingwood. What happened in the huddle with Carlton at three-quarter time?
Oh, well, Barassi was actually quite composed. I think that's been well reported. You know, he just said, go out and do your best. You more or less, you know, you pulled us out of the, you know, the mire. You know, we were really looking down the barrel at half-time, and that was when all the steam was flying. Phenomenal third quarter of the game. Of course, that's when I did very well, so yes, great.
The modest Ted Hopkins, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Oh, no, I like the third quarter. You know, the ball was running fast. That suited my game. Probably suits your sort of game too, Richard, you know.
My old game.
The old game,
yeah.
Terrific. No, but I love fast football, you know, and...
Teddy, can I just take you to task on something?
Yeah.
You've come in here to our footy marathon armed with half a state forest. Now, these to me appear to be statistics and in-depth statistics taken from that 70 grand final. What have these told you? I mean, are there myths to that game?
Oh, look, there certainly are. As people may know now, that I work very much in analysis, looking at statistics that really matter, not just kicks, marks, handballs, because they quite often don't sort of give you a clue as to who's winning and why. And so we've got now 13 clubs that subscribe to the stats being produced by Swinburne University and my company, Champion Data. And so we sort of said, well, let's have a real...
Lucky you're on commercial television, Ted, with all these ads going on.
No, that's right. You've got to acknowledge your sources in the intellectual property game.
I'll remember that.
Okay, so what we did is we thought, well, we'd run the 1970 grand final with the sort of analysis that they do in modern-day football. This is the stuff that is really the trade secrets that the various clubs are getting into, right?
And what did it tell you?
Oh, total miss. You know, things like handball... you know, the influence on the game grossly exaggerated. We can say that, you know, the way coaches and teams are thinking now, it's effective kicking, winning the 50-50 contest. This is the thing that's the most important in football, has been always, will be for the future. And when we analyse the game, this is exactly the results. The team that kicked the ball often enough and the best won in the end and won the most 50-50 contests on the day.
Won the game.
Yeah.
OK, well, let's go back to the action now of 1970 and see who did win the game. 17 points the margin at three-quarter time.
Umpire Don Jolly coming in, bouncing the ball to start the final quarter of the 1970 Grand Final. Carlton versus Collingwood go into the final quarter. Collingwood 13-16 to Carlton 12-5. Crane of Carlton with the ball. Crane hooks it up towards centre half forward. Hopkins, who came on as 19th man and caused a stir by kicking 3 goals early in the third quarter, gets his kick, but it doesn't go far. Crane is there for Carlton Wrestling, and the result of that will be another baller. Almost on the wing position on the member stand side. The bounce of the ball, up they go. Nichols gets the tap down, it's taken by Gallagher. Gallagher runs around, he puts his boot into it, drives up towards Jesselenko. Carlton kicking to the scoreboard in the final quarter. Here's a go for Hopkins. Hopkins, oh, no!
He hit the post, Mike.
Hit the post with it.
He was travelling at top pace and under pressure. He had some excuse there.
He still hit the post, Foots.
Yes, but
I'm sure you could find a lot of excuses for the kid, but that doesn't put it on the scoreboard. A let off for Collingwood, put it that way.
Definite one. Jeff Clifton now about to kick in right up the centre. Big Jenkin in there. Nichols hits down. Jackson has it. He hand passes over towards Walls. It's snapped away there, taken away by Lee Adams, and his kick goes to centre half forward. Wayne Richardson in there punches the ball clean. Mulcair comes across that half-back line. He's bundled, but he gets away with it. Good play, young Mulcair. The kick goes into the centre. A chance here for Price. Price looking for McKenna. And it's Thompson now, streaks down in front.
Comment from Butchdale.
Richardson.
Here's the kick down forward again. Richardson tries high. McKenna comes out. Hall of Carlton with the ball though. Hall now tapping the ball down. Gets his kick to the wing position on the member stand side. Waters is waiting there. Waters gets it across to Greening. Greening of Collingwood down forward. Here's a go. Oh, they all stood by. And Pennell cut across to take the mark.
Fritz mistake there.
The kick now from Pennell back towards the wing position on the member stand side. No mark. Tottenham comes in, but a free kick will be paid Carlton's way.
Ian Robertson.
Let's hear from Mr. Football, Ted Whitten.
Well, there's no doubt about it, mate. The last quarter has started off in a fantastic pace, and there's still a lot of tempo, and Robinson plays on with the ball. 2 bounces. It's not a good kick, but gets a lot of distance. Nobody can mark the ball. It will go over the boundary line. The umpire has picked it, and a throw-in will take place again, right in front of the member stand.
A lot of players getting tired now, Ted. This pace has been a cracker.
Certainly has, and it's been right on from the start.
I don't know about the players. I think there are 3 commentators getting a bit weary
well,
too.
There's no doubt about it as well with the cameraman and Alf Potter. There's the throw in now. Gallagher picks up after tap down. A free kick goes to Gallagher, number 10, the Carlton Rover. He was grabbed too high around the shoulder. Silvani standing by, but Gallagher will no doubt will go for the big kick.
16 points the difference.
He goes for the short one, looking for City Jackson, and found him. City Jackson, 60 yards out of goal. They're on at the true centre-half forward position, but a little angle.
Jackson, a magnificent drop kick. Let's see what he does with this one. He's kicked one. It was a snap. It was a beauty, too, in the third quarter. He favours a punt kick here. Oh, it's a beauty. The result, 1 behind.
Tailed off right at the last little bit.
Carlton attacking. 13-16 to 12-7. Very accurate kicking from the Blues.
The breeze is
Not
swinging
enough
round a
goals.
bit.
I think the breeze has swung to the Jollyman end, Mike.
Well, that would be favouring Collingwood then.
That's right.
So Lady Luck may be with Collingwood at last in a grand final. A kick goes out. Jenkins flies, has it knocked away by Nichols of Carlton. Gary Klein tries to pick up, doesn't do so. Taken by Price of Collingwood. Price is running around. Oh, beautiful. Over to Greening. Greening a hand pass to Britt. Britt in a bit of trouble. Back to Greening. Played Collingwood. Greening now down forward. Here's a go. They race for the ball. It bounces awkwardly. Mackay of Carlton. It was over the boundary line almost, but he kept it in play cleverly. And Greening has taken a fantastic mark.
He was the only Collingwood player there in 3 Carlton, and he had to take.
You're watching this from Channel 7 in Melbourne. There's Peter McKenna being well guarded by Kevin Hall. The kick now from Greenings, going down, swinging out towards the pocket. Big Glenn Thompson, he's marked. Too big, too strong. Mackay's appealing for the free kick. But Thompson, who has kicked 1 goal at a very vital part of the third quarter, is on an angle. He's manoeuvred himself around a bit too.
Yeah, he's needed a fair bit there.
He kicks, he put it through, right through the centre.
Agelessly from injury, Wayne Carey is not playing in today's grand final, and it's all my fault. It was my Ruboy theorem that cast Wayne into the public spotlight. And we all know what happens to kangaroos that get caught in spotlights. I feel your pain, Wayne. Yours, apologetically, Ewan McCormick.
Connor's up again, but he can't get away with the ball. There'll be another baller. Umpire's on Jolly, doing a great job. There they go. The ball knocked towards Crosswell. He's grabbed by Tottenham. Holding the ball.
Could have been a baller. Made the throw. It's Thompson leading. And Mark. Beautiful pass by Tottenham. Oh, he's in trouble. Played on too quickly, and Kevin Hall broke up that attack. Races on with the ball into the centre of the ground. Silvani there. Tully. Big Jenkins. Jenkins in trouble. Hand passes to Waters. Waters kicked the centre half forward. Dunn overran the ball. There's a free kick to come.
Oh, no doubt. Pennell, isn't it?
Yes, Pennell taking the kick on the centre half back position.
Pennell now up towards centre half forward. Big Graham Jenkins is there for Collingwood, and he's taken the mark.
Look at the Collingwood players around that position, Mike. They're everywhere.
Good moving on quicker than that.
Jenkins now kicks down towards centre half forward from the Magpies. Dunn completely swamped there. Gill comes through. The ball bounced awkwardly for him. Crosswell comes there. Dean of Collingwood's in that lot. Tottenham came through like an express train. He's after Crosswell now, but Crosswell gets his kick over the centre. Jackson's there, and Jackson is marked. Jackson between centre half forward and the centre. Well, he'll kick a bit short of the centre. He takes his kick. Oh, it's a nice one too. The big men fly in. Up they go. It's a Collingwood mark in defence to Clifton, the fullback.
A beauty under pressure.
Let's hear from Woodscale.
Jeff Clifton about to kick from just behind the centre half-back position. Going right up the middle, Collingwood. It's the only way to. Twiggy Dunn in there. Nearly a mark to Croswell. Down here to Waite. Waite gets a left foot kick, a poor one out towards the half-forward flank. Jezelenko in front there, has the ball punched away. Hopkins has it. Scrambled, Dean on the ground, over to Hopkins again. Hopkins finesses, gets around onto the left foot, kicks it out here to Weird. Gould up on the half-forward flank. Couldn't mark it. O'Callaghan came through very strong. Dean, a little bit flustered. Taken by Gallagher. Gallagher has it dropped out of his hands. Jezelenko and Connor. And Jezelenko will get the free.
Those players are visibly slowing down, Teddy.
Yes, I would think so, Mike. Oh, they would have to.
They must be weary.
A long, hard season, and this the toughest of them all.
Jezelenko a long way out. Couldn't see him kicking this. It's on its way, though. It's right into the goal square. A magnificent kick. They fly. Big John is there. Oh, gets it around the net.
Great player, this fella.
I wonder if he put himself into that too. He's pretty clever, isn't he?
Clever.
He's a thinker. He's a very good thinker when he's playing football.
Nichols, 12 yards out, directly in front. No misses with him. Right through the centre. Collingwood is scratching their heads again now because Carlton is still in it. They're still in it, boy.
Oh, we're still in the game, Mike, but they want a repetition of that. Because they're playing just on 10 minutes into the final quarter.
8.5, Teddy.
8.5 minutes into the final quarter.
Oh,
and
ton of time.
They want goals. Umpire Don Jolly well in control. Very congested centre at this particular stage. Both forward lines wide open with Jolly coming in to bounce the ball. And the crowd right on the edge of the centre. Jolly with the ball.
Collingwood crowd going mad. There's the punch out. Nobody able to break clear with it. Plenty of Collingwood fellas there. Wayne Richardson thought it may have been his, but it's going to Waite of Carlton. Waite of Carlton now with the ball. Almost in the centre of the MCG. Takes his kick. That's a big one down forward. They set themselves. Jezelenko through by his. No worries.
What a good player this time.
Great player. There's Nichols in the goal square. Eakins of Collingwood watching him. The ball down to the edge of the goal square. It's offline. Over the line she goes. There'll be a throw-in in the forward pocket for Carlton on the member stand side. Wait for the throw-in. The big men come in. Jenkins goes up there with John Nichols. Clifton comes through. Couldn't get away with it. Nichols gets it over to Robert Walls. Walls hooks it around. This is close. Touch through.
My dear, it was close.
Touch through. One behind.
Well done, Peter Eakins.
Oh, gee, that was close. I agree. Goal umpire having a talk to Robert Walls.
Look, honestly, I think they're taking a little bit too much time, Collingwood. They're giving Carlton a chance to get back into this. Should hurry it on. Now, Clifton
what's going on here?
having another word to Wall.
Walls disputed the goal umpire's decision. The goal umpire spoke to him and also the field umpire. As Clifton comes out, kicks the ball to the outer side flank. Underneath it is Jenkins and Jones has been paid the mark. 2 bites at the chin.
I've got a terrible feeling, Teddy, you know.
You think they can come back with it?
Yes.
They're taking their time with the ball, as you mentioned. There comes Jones now. It's a big kick, torpedo punt high. Walls is underneath. Nichols from behind. And Nichols is punched with another one. 15, 20 yards out of goal. He's the bogey man now. They can get the ball down forward quickly. Nick has already kicked one in this quarter, buttering up for his second. Runs in. See what he can do with it. He kicks, steers it right through the middle. There's no worries about that.
8 points the difference. 8 points the difference now, only in favour of Collingwood. And we are 11 minutes into the final quarter.
Well, but what are you going to say about it? They kicked 7 and 11 minutes in the third. Can they do it again?
Well, they're certainly playing better than Collingwood at the moment, purely and simply because Collingwood are definitely not playing on quickly enough. If they do it and do it now, well, they can hold this game. But if they let Carlton get close, I'll tell you what, Carlton would be the toughest side to get in front of.
They wouldn't need to be much closer, boy. 8 points the difference. Bounce of the ball. There they go. Jenkins gets it. It goes to Terry Waters. Waters down here towards McKenna. Kevin Hall backing back. Oh, here's a chance. Tubman comes in there. The ball is pushed away. Thompson's there also. But it's Colin getting out of trouble. Croswell pushing the ball in front of him.
Croswell holding the man.
Croswell on the back line as he played well. Looks like Chandler's coming on for Carlton too. Now there's a kick from Croswell to the wing position on the member stand side. They fly high, no mark down to the ground. Pennell comes through here for Carlton. Pennell tries a hand pass, but it doesn't come off. Holding the ball, close to take it. Slap bang on the wing position.
Player down on the centre wing, Greening. And looks bad too.
Chandler's on, Gould off. Chandler on for Carlton, Gould off. The kick down forward now for Collingwood. Thompson at the back of the pack. But it's Mackay once again taking a towering mark. Greening cramp, obviously. Mackay now tries running towards the centre. It doesn't come off. Here's a chance for it's Waite there with the ball. Waite a long hand pass across here. Taken by Crane. Crane of Carlton. But it's passed over here to Max Richardson of Collingwood. Down forward it goes. And Hall comes out with the speed of a train. Kevin Hall of Carlton into the centre. The ball taken by Lee Adamson of Collingwood. In a bit of trouble. He gets his kick downfield and Jones is marking the fence for Carlton.
Oh, tremendous stuff this.
Jones now back in towards the centre. Jesselenko flew up a mile. Potter trying to come out with the ball. Jesselenko gets it out the frame of Carlton.
No doubt he threw it.
He threw it. Umpire Jolly right in control there. No good going from you supporters. He was 15 yards away from the incident.
13 and a half minutes gone of the final quarter. 8 points the difference in favour of Collingwood.
Greening will come off and Ricky Watt will come on. A replacement.
Wayne Richardson with the ball over there on the outer side.
Taking too much time.
His kick. The players set themselves. Oh, Thompson's in trouble there. He's buffeted around. Out comes Ian Robertson with the ball. Here's a no. Robertson bars up.
Dunn will get the free kick here. That's centre half forward.
Kicking in danger against Carlton.
Oh, nearly a 15-yard penalty too. Look at this.
Tully's off. Tully's off. And Ricky Waters on. That's for Collingwood. Now Twiggy Dunn, who's played a magnificent game. He's kicked 2 goals, or he's a long way out. He'll have to kick this down near 70 yards. Down to the Richmond end. It's on its way. It's well offline. Look who's waiting there. Mackay to take the defensive mark for the Blues. A hand pass by Mackay. Oh, this is trouble. Tubman comes through there. The ball held onto him, I think. No. It's called holding the ball. I think the ball was held onto him, to be truthful.
Oh, this is risky stuff.
Toss it goes to Mackay. Mackay out at further afield. No mark, however. Through comes Wade. A hand pass to Silvani. Silvani back here to White. White tries to dash it off. He does so. Over it comes here towards Ian Robertson of Carlton. Robertson of Carlton now goes for the bounce. He sets himself. He gets away. Carlton going forward. Robertson to Hopkins. Hopkins now steadies.
Hopkins down forward. It's over Jesselenko's head. And Eakins marks in defence.
Very good mark, Eakins there. Very solid.
Oh,
because that was going to be a Carlton score, no worries.
Got the oxygen.
It was a good call there, Mike.
Eakins now from just forward of the back pocket. Should go up the centre, but he's looked for the centre wing. Waters from behind and Jones, no mark. Scramble of players, Britt in there, not being helped at all. Wayne Richardson. And Jolly will have to bounce. A good decision. Very tired footballs out there at the moment. Jenkins hits down and taken by Gallagher. Popped over towards Jackson! Jackson from behind Adamson took the mark. Now he's at least 70 yards out. More. Nichols calling for it high into the square. Eakins and Nichols, up they go, and Eakins taps it, touches it through for 1 point.
17 minutes of the final quarter gone in the 1970 grand final. And look at that scoreboard.
7 points the difference. You wouldn't believe.
Clifton kicking out from the scoreboard end. Comes along the member stands flank. The boys move in. Ian Robertson. Oh, he's paying it. I think he should.
Oh, he has to.
Pay the mark.
No disagreement from our commentary position here.
Move the ball on.
Collingwood getting worried. Will another one slip out of their clutches? A glorious kick by Ian Robertson to the goal square. Knocked away by Wallace.
Oh!
Right across. O'Callaghan of Collingwood with the ball. O'Callaghan going for a run. Puts his boot into it. Gee, luck when Collingwood's way then. And now comes Mulcair. Given to Hopkins. Hopkins down to centre half forward. They all fly for it. Sergio Silvani comes through. Through comes Wayne Richardson. Gets it to brother Max Richardson. Down towards centre half forward for Collingwood. No mark, however. Whoa, and over they go. Picked up by Waite. Almost picked up by Waite. Waite of Carlton still going. He's grabbed by Britt. And the ball goes across here to Kevin Hall. Kevin Hall up towards centre half forward for Carlton. Plenty of Collingwood players there. But the ball goes to Robertson. He can't handle it. Silvani dives on top of it. Silvani gets it across here. Putnam comes through. Can't go anywhere. O'Callaghan into the centre. Taken by Price. Price down forward. McKenna and Hall over the Britt. To the left footer. McKenna. Crossball pushes it over the boundary line. There'll be a throw-in in the forward pocket for Collingwood on the member stand side. I'm just about gone.
It's a wild finish, I'll tell you. He's put the whistle away, Jolly, to Jenkins. Leant on the player there, but hit it down. It's all Carlton in his back line. Where are Collingwood's forwards? The kick from long and deep out towards centre wing. Crane racing for it with Dean. Dean gets the advantage now. He's tired, though. Gets around on the left foot. Well done, son. And the kick in towards centre half forward. No mark. Yes, it's great. Waiters mark at centre half back, and oh, they're weary, these fellas, I can tell you.
Wouldn't you be, Butch?
Oh, this has been a tremendous pressure game. 7 points the difference, and Carlton need to attack again. Waters from behind dropped it. Chance there for Adamson, but it's snapped up by Crane. He goes in towards centre half forward. Nichols racing for it. So too is Wayne Richardson. He's shouldered aside. Silvani gets it. Slopes over. Eakins over the top of him. Eakins still in trouble, but still manages to struggle the ball. Clifton taps it over the line for a throw in.
Well umpired, Don Jolly. He's letting it all go, and this is what the crowd want to see. He's playing the obvious free kicks. There's a tap down now by Thompson. Thompson to Wayne Richardson. But coming in here is Ricky Watt to the left boot, to the half-forward line. Green, Gills there. Nobody marks. Coming through is Mackay. Mackay caught in possession. Holding the ball. And will be played against him. Going to Johnny Greening, the Collingwood wingman. Number 22.
And 120,000 people go mad. Going on towards 19 and a half minutes of the final quarter. Can Collingwood hang on? Will Carlton get up? Jones across to Barry Gill. Gill now close to the boundary line. It's over on the full.
I know this handball's got him back in the game, Mike, but they're overdoing it.
Breeding off here, Mike, and can't run.
Well, you wouldn't doubt the courage of any one of those players out there.
Oh!
Good to be taken by Ricky Watt, who came on, replacing Colin Tully. Watt now will drive this beat down into the forward zone. There's his kick. It's a nice one too. The players move in. Big Jenkins from behind. David Mackay was scored by his own man. He goes to come through. He's grabbed. Picked up by Jenkins. He can't go anywhere. Crane comes through. But a free kick is going to Crosswell or Mackay? Crosswell. Crosswell of Carlton. He takes his kick. Oh, it's a nice one, too, up towards centre half forward. The player sitting himself. Terry Waters went up, but Eakins comes out with it. Kick followed by Jackson. Jackson goes after it now. Look at this fella go. Jackson a long hand pass to Hopkins. Hopkins steadies. Hopkins kicks. It's through. He's put it through.
How long have they been going, Mike?
Almost 21 minutes. Almost 21 minutes into the final quarter. Don Jolly bounces the ball. Up they go. The ball, Thompson's in the ruck there. Dean comes through. He's in a lot of trouble, but eventually gets out. Kicks down forward. Up they go. No mark. McKenna's there. Jenkins comes out with it. Jenkins goes over. Kick off the ground by Pennell. And Pennell has put it over the boundary line in the forward pocket for Collingwood on that outer side.
And he's hurt himself too.
Boy, oh boy.
Cramp. They're going down like 9 pins here. The throw-in takes place. Jenkins gets a tap down, it goes to Crosswell. Crosswell, a long hand pass out here. Dean's unloaded by Waite of Carlton. Waite picks up, throws a short one up towards Payne of Carlton. He's chased by Price, they both go over. The ball's in play, taken by Chandler. Chandler of Carlton up to the half-forward flank on the outer side. Through comes Potter of Collingwood. Potter steadies, gets a hurried kick back towards the wing position on that outer side. And Twiggy Dunn has marked.
Oh, he's been a hero today. Look at that hand pass now. Nicely to Price. Price boots a long one in towards the full forward area.